Namaste and welcome to Tradition Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit. I'm so very glad that you've come to join me for asana and pranayama practices in preparation for Kriya meditation. These are the practices from Chapter 3 of Kali Meditation, Book 4, Everyday Practices based on the lineage of Kriya Yoga. And special greetings for those of you who have by this time bought the book and are watching, following the links that I've provided in the text. One thing that I'll mention is I'm going to talk a bit about adaptations for this practice using a chair, and there is a separate video showing this full routine with a chair. So anybody can do this practice that I'm about to demonstrate. Quick announcement for those of you who are watching live. Friday at 8 p.m. I'll be doing our monthly Yoga Nidra practice. This will be a Yoga Nidra for health and healing. So I'd like to start out with a little disclaimer. So yoga is for everyone. However, when online, it's up to the individual to assess whether they are ready for the class that's being presented. Obviously, if you suffer from a specific injury or disease, it is best to consult with a physician first. Similarly, if you are pregnant, please follow the recommended practices only. The practice of yoga asanas and meditations requires you, the practitioner, to gauge the safety of the practice with your personal physical limitations. It's better to build up slowly than to force and strain. Listen to your body, in other words. Whilst one may feel exertion, one should also feel relaxed as well. These techniques and suggestions presented on this website are not intended to substitute for proper medical advice. Please consult your physician before beginning any new exercise practice. And myself, Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube assumes no responsibility for injuries suffered while practicing these techniques. So that being said, I'm going to start out by reading a short section from Chapter 3, the introduction to these practices. The following series consists of several traditional preparatory practices for Kriya Yoga meditation. Actually, this can be a pre-meditation series for pretty much any other form of meditation as well. Many of these were used by the Kriya guru Ganesh Baba in training his students. The series is designed to release physical tensions, relax the body, increase awareness of one's subtle energy centers, and prepare the Kriyaban. Kriyaban is a Kriya practitioner for sitting still for several minutes or longer with an erect spine to breathe and breathing fully. So let's begin first with seated meditation, how to sit when you're meditating. Right now I'm doing a simple half lotus position. Notice my knees are fairly even with the floor. Depending on what your body is telling you, simple cross-legged position or Tadasana. And then if you're tight in the hips or you have issues with your knees, and your knees tend to be up like this when you're seated this way, you can always get a couple of yoga blocks, maybe a couple of cushions to place under the knees for additional comfort and stability. I've got a flat cushion under my hips as well to tilt the pelvis a little bit forward. Most of us watching this broadcast are Westerners, so we were brought up sitting in chairs. And this is just a very, very important modification for a lot of us to ensure comfort while sitting for a long period of time. Again, you can also do this practice seated in a chair. Find a straight back chair where your feet can be flat on the floor. If your knees are up a bit, depending on the chair, the height of the chair, you can always put a cushion under your hips to raise you up a little bit. Or if your feet aren't really comfortably touching the floor, you can put maybe a couple of yoga blocks, maybe some books, cushions under your feet so that they're resting on something. So again, there's a lot of ways to adapt this practice based on your physical needs. So the seated position is important. You want the spine straight. Roll the shoulders back to open the chest. Hands resting comfortably on your knees. And this brings us into meditational breath, full yogic breathing. So I like to breathe in and out through the nose. Another adaptation you can do is breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. If your nose is really congested, you can mouth breathe, but that's really not the best practice. So let's just start out with some yogic breathing, some basic pranayam. So take a moment, find that comfortable seated position with the back straight. Again, roll the shoulders back a little bit. Let the vertebrae of the spine be stacked, one upon the other. The head stacked upon the shoulders. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears as well. And relax the throat, relax the abdomen, relax the neck. So I invite you to close your eyes. Full, deep inhalations and exhalations. You should feel the belly moving in and out with the exhalations and inhalations. You can even practice by placing a hand on your stomach and feel that in and out movement. And something that helps with this is to imagine yourself as being like a glass of water. As a glass fills from the bottom up to the top. So as you inhale, the belly opens up, and then the chest expands and the shoulders come slightly up. And then a glass of water empties from the top to the bottom. So as you exhale, shoulders come down a little bit, chest comes in, and finally the belly comes in toward the spine. Let's just sit this way, breathe for a while. Notice the effects of this practice. This is really the most basic of meditations. This can be a meditational sadhana all on its own. Just focus on the breath. The sound of air entering and leaving. Sensation of air as it enters and leaves your nostrils. Sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs, even filling, bringing air circulation to those lowest areas of the lungs that very often don't get a fresh supply of air because of the way we're sitting in our office chairs or our easy chairs. Or a big comfy couch. And then when you're ready, I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. Release, slowly open your eyes, and just take a moment. Just check in with yourself and notice the effects of the meditation. Do you feel more relaxed? Does the mind feel more at peace? Do you feel more open? And so, like I said, this is a meditation, a very simple meditation that can be done anywhere at any time. So for our next warm-up exercise, this is called Tandava Kriya. It's a form of free-form yoga that originated through Kashmir, the practices connected to Kashmir Shaivism about 1,000 years ago. In my most recent series of meditations on the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, we discussed a couple of verses that describe Tandava Kriya. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and just pan the camera a bit upwards so you can see me standing. And let's see how that looks. Let's bring it up a little higher. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I invite you to come to standing. We're going to first come into Tadasana, or mountain pose. So your feet are stacked directly under your hips, width apart. Again, shoulders back, palms of the hands forward, spine straight. You can lift up all 10 toes and bring them back to the ground, starting with the little toes, ending with the big toes, just to reestablish the arch of the foot. And just begin that deep yogic breathing. It is the basis for all yogic movement as well. Also make sure that there's a slight micro bend to the knees. As you breathe deeply, you may notice just a very simple, natural rocking motion forwards and backwards as you inhale and as you exhale. And begin to let that gentle rocking go deeper and deeper. And then just begin to move the body, move the arms, move the legs, move the spine in every direction that it can move, forwards, backwards, side bends, twists. Don't even necessarily follow what I'm doing. Just be in the moment. Make sure the knees are involved, the ankles. knuckles, the fingers, the wrists, the shoulders, and the neck be loose, and the jaw be relaxed. You can try this exercise with your eyes closed. If that's not comfortable, it's okay to keep them open. You could have some musical accompaniment to this, some kind of natural flowing music. Just be relaxed as you know, no judgments. Just follow your body and your intuition. And keep that slow, deep yogic breath. This natural, some people say this is a Tai Chi-like movement. And you can do this for as long as you wish. As long as it's comfortable, as long as it feels good. Bending the knees a little more if that feels right. Listening to your body, if there are joint issues. And then, just naturally, there'll come a time when movements begin to become more subtle, slower. Just letting yourself come back slowly to mountain pose. Continuing the natural rocking for a while. And then coming back to stillness, quiet. Breathing, tuning into your body. Just feeling the effects of the practice. Maybe you even notice some extra blood flow in your extremities. Gently. So I'm going to pan the camera because next more practice will be on that. Let's try there. And a little too much. Yeah, that's better. And Deborah, namaste. Thank you for joining me. So I want to share a little bit from the book about this practice that we just did. So this sadhana, this practice, Tandava Kriya, is designed to move the body, open the breath, and promote relaxation. All the joints and major muscle groups are involved in this practice. If necessary, this sadhana can be practiced also while seated on your mat or seated in a chair. So you can do the same free-form movements in a seated position as well. Try putting Tandava, Tandava Kriya, Kriya, in your YouTube browser and see what comes up. There's especially some very nice videos by Daniel Odier, who's demonstrating this practice. Also, Shiva Ray, her yogic trance dance practice is based on this, and she does a very free moving, very fast form of this. And I was very lucky um, earlier this year to actually be at one of her um, movement workshops. It was just an amazing experience. So Tandava Kriya. And Tandava Kriya, Tandava is the dance of Lord Shiva. It's the dance of, we're taking part in the dance of the cosmos. So we've done a movement practice, and we're going to return now to another breathing practice, another pranayam. This is Nadi Shodhana, which is the cleansing, the breath cleansing of the nadis. There's the central channel running along the spine, the Shushumna. There's Ida Nadi on the left, the lunar channel, Pingala Nadi on the right, the solar channel, and they're connected to the nostrils. So this is alternative nostril breathing, and it's a wonderful exercise for balancing both the dynamic and receptive polarities of our being, and also balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain as well. So I invite you to take your peace fingers, this is the way I like to teach it, place it on your third eye, and you can even focus on your third eye center while doing this, and have your ring finger and little finger extended and your thumb extended. We're going to be doing long, slow, deep yogic breath with this. So using your thumb, lay it along the right side of your nose to block the nostril, and then a nice, deep, slow inhale, and then bringing the ring finger to the left side of the nose and exhaling through the right, and inhaling through the right, and then bringing the thumb to the right side and out, in through the left. And just going back and forth. And then when you're ready for the last inhalation through the right side of the nose, closing off the right side, and make a final exhalation through the left. Bring your hand back to your lap. Take a few deep breaths. And again, just feel the effects of the practice and slowly open your eyes. So we did 10 cycles, so 10 right, 10 left. The benefits of Nadi Shodhana improves your ability to focus the mind, supports our lungs and respiratory functions, restores balance in the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and clears the energetic channels Ida and Pingla, rejuvenates the nervous system, removes toxins, and most importantly, reduces stress. And again, this is another one that this can be done anytime, pretty much any place. When I was in graduate school, one of my main teachers told me a story. She was at a conference at the University of Colorado campus. She was in this meeting, and things were a little stressful in this meeting, and she just had to leave for a while and cool her mind. And so she went into her car. Sitting in her car, she began doing this practice. And some student walking by was looking what she was doing and taps on the window of the car and says, Miss, I don't, whatever that is you're doing, could I have some? And it's free for everyone. So we're going to now move to another movement exercise. This is cat-cow stretch. This is another wonderful exercise for increasing circulation, for warming up the spine as well. So you're going to come to your hands and knees. Toes tucked. Have your hands stacked underneath your shoulders. Micro bend to your elbows. The neck be relaxed. Your knees are stacked under your hips. And inhale. Bring the belly to the ground. Bring the head back. This is cow. And then exhale. Arch the back. Let the head relax. Bringing the chin to the chest. And let's just do 10 rounds of this. The movements be fluid and gentle, flowing. Wonderful exercise for back tension. And just coming back to tabletop. Take some breaths. Feel the effects. And then come back to sitting. And there's variations of this exercise that can be done seated in a chair as well, or if you're seated on your mat, turn around a bit, having your hands on your knees and simply inhaling, bringing the chin and the chest forward, and then exhaling, collapsing the chest, bringing the chin to the chest. So this is a seated version of the same practice. So a little more information on this. So the benefits of cat-cow includes warms the body, definitely feeling it's a summer day and I'm definitely feeling a bit warmer in here, and brings flexibility to the spine, stretches the back, torso, and neck, softly stimulates and strengthens the abdominal organs, opens the chest, encouraging the breath to become slow and deep, stimulates the kidneys and the adrenal glands, relieves stress, and calms the mind. Brings the spine, helps to bring the spine into correct alignment, and can also help in the prevention of back pain. And I think we always are looking for a way to prevent that aching back. So we're going to move now to another breath practice, another pranayam practice. I want to read some contraindications for this one. So some advice with this: do not practice. This is called Bastrika Pranayam, also known as bellows breath, if you are pregnant or if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, acid gastric issues, hiatal hernia, heart disease, or abdominal pain. You should also stop or slow down if you feel dizzy or anxious. This exercise can also aggravate panic disorders. But its benefits include it cleanses the lungs and the respiratory system, strengthens and tones the diaphragm and abdominal muscles, releases toxins, increases oxygen to the cells, purifying the blood in the process by decreasing carbon dioxide. Another name for this exercise is decarboxylation. It energizes and clears the mind, helps to focus our attention, and again, warms the body. So let's come into our most comfortable seated position. Shoulders back, get the spine nice and straight. We're going to inhale, bringing the belly out. And then we're going to contract the belly muscles to squeeze the air out rather quickly, like that. And then relax the belly and feel the air just being naturally drawn in as you relax the abdominals, and then contract them again. And then relax, contract, relax. Let's do another 17 of these. And then just relax the breath, bring the breath back to normal. We did closer to 25 of these actually, including the demonstration. That's a good number to start with. You can increase the number of bellows breaths to 50 as you become more comfortable with it. And again, after each practice, just take a moment, take some breaths, and then just notice the effects of the practice. So now I'm going to demonstrate an exercise that of the different forms of Kriya Yoga out there. This is one that is taught by so many teachers. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit, because at one point, part of this, I'm going to have my arms over my head. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. So this is called Mahabudra, which means the Great Seal. It's also known as Janushirasana, or head to knee pose. And in the Kriya form of this, we use this to become aware of that central channel of our spine, Sushumna Nadi. During Kriya practice, we're going to be moving energy up and down that central channel. So we begin this exercise by straightening our right leg and bringing our left foot against the right thigh. Toes of the right foot should be pointing upwards. Nice deep inhale, bringing the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips. We're just going to do a warm up first. Probably feel a nice stretch to the back of the leg. And then inhale, let's come back up. And exhale, hinge at the hips, come forward, keeping the back straight, letting the hands drop where they will fall naturally. Maybe the toes, maybe the ankle, maybe just below the knee. It's whatever your body lets you do. You're going to come into this stretch as far as your body and breath allows. Keeping the back straight, feeling that nice stretch in the back of the legs. Breathing deeply, and you're focusing on your spine and that central channel. You can envision it as being like a very thin white tube of light. Slow, deep yogic breath, coming deeper into the pose. That feels like a comfortable thing to do. Not overdoing it if it doesn't. Holding this for 5 to 10 breaths. And then with an inhale, coming up slowly. Keeping the spine straight. Again, focusing on that central channel running from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Use your imagination. If you have trouble feeling it, with practice, you will eventually be able to feel it. And then switching legs, straightening the left leg, bringing the right foot against the left leg, knee down as far as possible. You can also, if your knee doesn't go down all the way when doing this, you can always put a block or cushion under that knee for some extra comfort and extra stability. Left toes pointed toward the air. Focusing on your spine and that central channel. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, coming part way. And then inhale back up. And then exhale, hinging at the hip, letting the hands drop. Breathing, keeping the back and neck straight. Focusing on that central channel again. deeper, if body and breath allows, staying where you are if it doesn't. And then inhale, the back straight, coming back up to neutral. Take a couple of breaths. Notice the effects of the practice. And then straightening both legs. And now we're going to do a version of the forward fold. So again, sitting with your back straight. And a good way to start is in staff pose, Tadasana. So rolling the shoulders back, bringing the fingers to the mat, keeping the spine straight. Toes pointing to the ceiling. Inhale, arms overhead. Focusing on that central channel of the spine, keeping the spine nice and straight, hinging at the hips part way. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, letting the feet drop. Keeping the spine straight, breathing deeply. Focusing on that central channel. Coming deeper if it's comfortable to do so. Feeling a nice stretch in the backs of the legs. And then inhale, coming up slowly. Rolling the shoulders back, coming back to staff pose. Taking a couple of breaths. Feeling the effects. And then I want to demonstrate a little counter pose because we're doing a lot of forward bending. So when you come back into simple sitting, take a nice deep inhale. Bring your hands behind, fingertips pointed to the back. Lifting your heart toward the ceiling. Holding this for about 5 to 10 breaths. This is Tadasana. Nice heart opener. And just a chance to move the spine in the opposite direction. And then inhale. And exhale, rolling the shoulders forward, coming back into simple sitting. And for both head to knee pose, Janushasana, Mahabudra, and for also Anahadasana, back bend, I'll be showing you how to do this from a chair as well. But the benefits of Mahabudra has a beneficial effect on the sciatic nerve. So if you have sciatica, it can help in relieving it. If you don't have sciatica, it can help in the prevention of it. Makes the backbone and back muscles more flexible, aids digestion, promotes awareness of Sushumna Nadi, that central channel, in preparation for Kriya practice. So we're going to end with the same chakra meditation that we did last week, only we're going to do something a little different when we get to the third eye. We're going to do something called Jyoti Mudra or Light Mudra. And what that's going to involve is using your thumbs to close the little flaps, the pinna of the ears, bringing the index and middle finger over the eyes, maybe exerting just some very gentle pressure on the eye. You'll notice a nice little light effect when you do that. And just bringing the other two fingers along the side of the mouth. Elbows are raised. And we're going to take a deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to do Brumri or bumblebee breath, which goes like so when we focus on the third eye, we're going to do 3 rounds of this. And then as you're exhaling and doing the bumblebee breath, something else you can do that's really helpful in the movement of that energy up the central channel is to contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, the PC muscles. These are the same muscles you engage when you're trying to hold a stream of urine back. So I'll talk you through those 3 rounds when we get to that part. The Kriya Yoga guru Ganesh Baba called this Plexi Plucking. And it's wonderful just for providing awareness of the chakras and also a cleansing process for those energy centers. We're going to be doing long, slow, deep breathing throughout the process. And like we did last week, we're going to silently intone the mantras for each of the chakras and the 5 elements. And we're also going to visualize the tattva symbols for the first 5 chakras, the 5 elements. And also I'm going to invite you to be aware of just anything that manifests as you focus on these energy centers. So thoughts, feelings, images, just let them come, honor them, and let them go. Also, try to be mindful of which ones are harder to work with. Those are ones you may want to return to in your own personal practice. But right now, I invite you to sit comfortably. Begin slow, full yogic breath. Close your eyes. Breathing deeply. And first, just take a moment to ground and to center yourself. And visualize the Shushumna Nadi as a silvery white tube connecting the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And then take a deep and clearing breath. And bring your awareness to the base of the spine and the perineal region. Breathe into that area. Focus your attention while mentally repeating the mantra Lam. This is the mantra for the earth element. Repeat Lam with each inhalation and exhalation. Inhaling Lam. Exhaling Lam silently. And in your mind's eye, you can also visualize the tattva symbol for the earth element. Envision a golden, dense, heavy, bright cube. And use your breath to cleanse and heal this chakra center. And let yourself just be aware of what manifests during this process. And then take a deep and clearing breath and bring your attention and your breath to the area that's just behind the pubic bone. It's the area of the uterus and the prostate, or the prostate. And we're just going to repeat the same process, only this time with each inhalation and exhalation. I invite you to silently repeat the mantra BAM, BAM, the mantra of the water element. Inhale BAM, exhale BAM. And you can also visualize a silvery crescent moon, the tattva symbol for the water element. A silvery crescent moon in a dark night sky, whose light is being reflected in a still pool of water. And then take a deep and clearing breath and bring your awareness up now to the area of the solar plexus below the breastbone. This is the area of the pancreas and the adrenals. And as you breathe in and out, we're going to use the mantra Ram, the mantra for the fire element. And visualize the tattva symbol for the fire element, a bright, fiery red inverted triangle. And again, just let yourself be aware of anything that manifests as this part of the meditation, like you do with the other energy centers as well. And then take another deep and clearing breath, moving your awareness to your heart region. The inhalation and exhalation mantra is Yam. This is the mantra of the air element. And the symbol for the air element is a blue-gray six-pointed star. So visualize the star. Repeat the mantra Yam. And again, just be aware of anything you experience. And take another deep and clearing breath, bringing your breath and awareness now to the center of your throat. Breathing in and out of the throat region. And as you inhale and exhale, I invite you to silently repeat the mantra Ham. Ham. The mantra for the ether element. As you breathe and focus on this region, you can envision a bright white sphere of light whose light is made up from infinitely many dots of every color imaginable. And again, just be aware of anything else that comes into your realm of awareness. So now take a deep and clearing breath, moving your awareness now to the third eye center. I invite you to slightly focus your gaze behind your closed eyes, just gently up a little bit toward the third eye. And notice whatever light effect that produces. You may see just white light or yellow light. You may see a sphere of light or a ring of light. Or you may envision a dark blue inverted triangle surrounded by light. The mantra, the third eye, Ragna chakra, is Om. So inhale and exhale Om. We'll do this for a few breaths, and again, just be aware. Whatever this experience produces. And slowly raise your hands, using the thumbs to close off the ears by pressing down on the little flap of skin. Bringing the first two fingers over the eyes, the other two fingers along the mouth. We're going to inhale and hum, and as we hum, contract the pelvic floor. This is called Mulabanda. Do this 3 times. Inhale. Take a deep clearing breath. Bring your hands back to your knees. Take a few breaths and just feel the effects of that last exercise. Hopefully the energy just lit up that third eye. And then take another deep and clearing breath and bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Breathe into this area like before, but there's no mantra, just silence. Breathing into the crown, the top of the head. And envision there a lotus flower of 1,000 petals, opening up toward the cosmos. And then feel the energy that you've raised through this whole meditation sprouting upwards from the crown and coming down and covering your entire being, forming the pattern of a Sri chakra around you or a clear crystal around you. Feel cleansed and healed and at one with the divine creative force of divine Shakti. And then take a deep and clearing breath. And then just ground all that energy into your heart center. A nice place to end a meditation like this. bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center, giving gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice, slowly opening your eyes but keeping a relaxed gaze. And namaste. Jai Ma. And thank you so very much for joining me. For those of you who have accessed this video through the book, also look for the chair yoga version of this video. I'd like to talk about another variation of this practice. One can also inhale, focusing on each chakra center from the root to the crown while mentally chanting Om at each chakra, inhaling Om, exhaling Om. The process is then reversed on exhalation. So do this for several rounds, 5 to 10 minutes. So you're chanting Om at each chakra to the crown, and then from crown to the root. Do this 4 or 5 times. This was a meditational process that was popularized by the yogi Paramahamsa Yogananda. And actually, I want to clarify that. So as you're inhaling Om, raise the energy from the crown to from the root to the crown. Exhaling Om, bringing it from the crown to the root. You can also do this like we did, inhaling, exhaling Om through each chakra as well. So there's two things you can do with Om. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so very much. And please join me. Those of you who are watching live, please join me next Tuesday for the next exercise from my book. And also, if you're reading the book, look forward to the exercises in the next chapter. Till then, namaste, Jai Ma, and thank you.